Yeah, Morgs. So that display in Joburg, you must have been incredibly happy with how the boys managed to turn around the first couple of games of the season and get that first win. Is it frustrating that it's taken the boys that long in the season to get there?
Yeah, Nick, as we chatted off air now, we've been closer than people may think, and when you as a team have to sit around and identify where you've got it wrong, the team are aware of it, and you can improve in all areas, fielding, bowling, but ultimately our batting has been the area that let us down, because we are merging with a younger attack this year in general, and especially now. The age of our attack is very young, and the experience is more limited, but they played like a bunch of experienced guys in Joburg. And the thing we always discuss as a unit is everybody bats. Not everybody bowls, but everybody bats. And more often than not, we've had guys like Ethan Bosch and Kesh Ethan Bosch. Ethan Bosch in one game walked in at number 10. This is one of the most promising all-rounders, young all-rounders in South Africa. So, we just need every guy to take ownership of his batting role. Whichever side we pick, we will have quite a deep batting order in terms of guys thinking they have the potential to bat. And once we get that right, more often, which we did in Joburg, where we adapted better to the conditions, we put in not a spectacular, but under the circumstances, a good batting effort and got over 300. It's a bit like Mickey Arthur said with his Pakistanis. If we manage to get over 300 with a bowling attack that we're putting out there at the moment, we'll win more games than we'll lose. So a very encouraging performance. But I do think we got the Lions on the back of a little bit of a hangover period, with most of them having been in the Josie Stars, and we won't get that this time round.
Yeah. They've got a number of really good batters in their side. Didn't perform in Joburg, but they are a number of guys that you've got to look out for.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nick, the likes of Rassie van der Dussen is brimming with confidence at the moment, and I also think his bank balance isn't looking too bad. And whenever those things are going for you, you become a secure cricketer and a dangerous one. And Stephen Cook's got a lot of pride, and he's a class performer. At all the levels he plays. And then Reza Hendricks, well, he can be anything. He's just not performing in red ball at the moment, but you don't underestimate him. And this Libber, he's made a couple of hundreds. You've got Nicky van der Berg, who's doing quite well, and so you roll on through them, and they also go quite deep. So I don't expect them to roll over again like they did in Joburg under tough conditions. We also got the best of a toss there, to be honest. So we're going to have to work hard.
Getting Sen back, obviously we've lost Keshav to the Proteas, but getting Sen back for this game adds a bit of bulk to the batting lineup.
Kesh is the best spinner in the country, and he's a huge part of our side and a leader. And I mean, he's batted well for us too this season. But with Sen on record over the last three seasons, you can't actually say you lose as much as you think you do. Obviously you gain his batting, but with the ball, Sen's actually taken wickets, and often Kesh has helped in tandem to set that up with his control. But Kesh has also done it on his own in that way when he was the only spinner in the side. So you can't say much about the value of a guy like Sen as a true spinning all-rounder. He's quite unique in the country.
We haven't had the best of our own conditions. We have. Is that fair to say? Have we adapted well to our own conditions this season?
I think having played here, we've played here once. So if we played here against the Warriors, I'm just trying to remember the other game here, where the Titans away, Cobras away. Generally with the Warriors here. We generally try to play that game on a good cricket wicket, and having set it up to chase 220 on the last day, being 18 for naught, 202 on the last day, and then being 90 for 2 at drinks. It's disappointing. We weren't in a space there where we were trying to get too fancy with pitches here or there. We felt over the time that we've played the Warriors up until that point, that if we just give a good cricket wicket to them, we've generally been able to beat them in that way. Obviously, we have to also come up with ways of putting things in our favour. But in this sense, this next game again, we feel that if we play the Lions on a good cricket wicket and play good cricket, we can beat them. Maritzburg is maybe more a place where we get a little bit fancy. We haven't really been able to dictate the Durban conditions in either way the way we might want to. Maritzburg lends itself more to that, but hopefully we can start. We lost our first game against the Warriors since I've been coach at home at Kingsmead, and hopefully we can keep it at that, and put in a good performance.
Kai getting that ton, but then you've had a couple batters who have started well. We've had quite a few 50s scored in the tournament, but we've only had 200 scored in the tournament so far.
I think it's three now. Three now with Kai. It's 2 from Vaughan and 1 from Kai. Yeah.
So 2 different players to score hundreds. Is that worrying?
Yes. I mean, as I said earlier, everybody bats. And if you look at the pedigree of our batters, and where they've played, and you look at with Sen back now, do you look at Vaughan, who's played for South Africa, and he's one of the premier batsmen in South Africa, especially in red ball cricket. He's always in the top 5 in the country. Sarel's playing for SAA at the moment. Sen's just been on an A tour to India. Kai's playing white ball cricket for South Africa, and he's the captain of red ball for SAA. Then you look at guys like Sibbs and young guy like Rulofsson, and previously we had Dane Villas in the side, who's a brilliant cricketer. It is a concern, 300s and 1550s. Obviously our conversion rates are not good enough, and when you don't get those hundreds, Nick, you also miss out on the big partnerships. It takes time out the game then for you. You don't bat the wicket into the kind of like wear and tear that you wanted to have for our spinners, and we lose the whole trend of our game plan starts taking a hit, and our young bowling attack can't rest, so it's all interlinked. So that batting, making hundreds, batting time and doing it properly will change so much with the way we're trying to approach our 4-day cricket.
I know it's incredibly difficult to pinpoint why, but are there any indicators as to why the case has been this season? It's tough. We talk about it continuously. Maybe our practice facilities aren't quite as good as we might want them, and maybe we're practicing at a slightly, our nets are a little bit too lively and a little bit too variable, but I don't want to put the blame there. I still think we're trading well. We're not, who knows? They always say there's someone better than you at what you're doing. But we're training well. We're working hard. The guys are facing a lot of balls. They're hitting a lot of balls. It's a case of just application and little things, So look, we have to look to improve. We're always trying to come up with ways to do it better. But, I also think maybe this season with the DPL and all of that, we maybe didn't quite spend as much time at the crease as we wanted to. We had that slant on our season. Maybe the Nzansi League hanging around, we just maybe got on the wrong end of it a little bit, but as you say, if we can apply ourselves better and get that right, we're very close to winning. We've been very close to winning the games we lost this year, so we can get on a hot streak. But by the same token, if we make the same mistakes we made when we lost, we can stay on the other end of it. Do you think was it detrimental? Obviously, you didn't have a choice, but would you have liked to have sort of played through the Christmas period after that win in Joburg? Did you think that there was a bit of momentum, or do you think you can pick it up quite easily?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Any little win like that, you might want to have, that game that was originally in between. But I do think that it was necessary for these players to have a break, and all the players, in general. So for me, Nikki, I think the Oaks needed a break, and just looking the way the guys have come back. I mean, Imi did do me a huge favour, so I went home for a while and spent some time with my mom. I don't see her a lot. So Imi was going with the guys here in between, so we practiced in that. But I think it's good that we had the break. So, yeah, we're excited about, what we can achieve.
Brilliant.